Strokestown Park House is about to become home to a very special group of people. All of them are descendants of servants who worked in large country houses. They have agreed to move in and do the jobs that their ancestors did before them.
You are going to be the cook.
The cook?
The cook.
People will starve.
We hope that their experience will help us to understand the story of our past.
Oh my God, I can't stop stepping on it.
It's an uncomfortable story, one that we've avoided telling for many years. But it's a story that needs to be told. Because the story of the big house has shaped rural Ireland for the past 300 years. I'm Brian Murray, and this magnificent building behind me is Strokestown Park House in County Roscommon. Over the next few weeks, we will attempt to tell the story of this house and that of its neighbours.
Just hold on for a second, look. Tuck in that shirt there. You have to look smart here now.
I don't think a programme like this could have been made 10 years ago. It's taken this long for the big house to be accepted as part of Irish heritage.
Would you like to go? No! I'll do it somewhere else.
This series will explore how these extraordinary houses came to be built in the first place.
He served in Cromwell's army and he was rewarded for his service with this estate in Roscommon.
In thanksgiving for having conquered the people, there's a bit of the land that we've conquered.
Absolutely.
And how the conflict over this land played out in the centuries that followed.
Not worlds apart, universes apart.
The big house will always be a symbol of colonialism, and we should think about it in those terms.
We will see how the richest landowners in Ireland use these houses to display their vast wealth.
You can imagine what it must have been like for a cottier living in a mud cabin if he experienced the opportunity to see one of these grand houses for the first time. In sheer scale, they dwarfed all but the largest of the strong farmer houses in Ireland.
We will also discover that it wasn't all bad being a servant.
All my friends were working in houses, but none of them were working in a lovely house like I was. I thought, mine was the nicest.
I think we probably would try on some of her dresses, all right. I remember going to a dance one night with something belonging to her on me and my friend as well. But we left them back where we got them.
Lamb, soup, celery, potato pie. No, that's potato pie.
The story of the big house is our story, but until now it has not been told.
We burned down a lot of them during the War of Independence in 1922, so we did away with the environment where all of these things were taking place.
But it isn't the story of the bricks and mortar we want to tell. It's the human story. The story of the people who lived here, the people who worked here. The story of the engine of the big house. The story of the servants.
Everybody go to bed early so I can get up early now. We have a lot of work to do tomorrow.
Strokestown's new servants are not in for an easy time.
Luca!
Really? He was here a second ago.
But by doing the kind of jobs their ancestors might have done, we hope they will get a better understanding of what life was really like in the big house.
When you're in uniform, as soon as you put it on, that's who you are.
Okay, Anna.
I think any attempt to engage with all of the layers of the big house story over hundreds of years, any attempt to try and record, document, appreciate and understand the experiences of all of those who were involved is breaking new ground.
Oh God.
There will be early mornings,
It's very cold. I'm tired.
demanding superiors,
And this is what we would like for dinner tonight.
and hard work as they serve people with riches beyond their wildest dreams.
possibly I would have looked on the job beforehand as maybe a sissy-ish type job. There's a lot to it now. I have to get probably a bit more mannerly.
Our volunteers will have to cater for a hunt on the estate.
Come in, come in, come in.
And a reception hosted by the Lord and Lady of the house.
The dinner party really has to go right. You can feel this excitement down there. Everything has to be spot on. I'm actually starting to feel really nervous.
Smell that one more time before it goes.
Some will have to do more than others.
The head cook, she'd have had to be a right wagon really to keep everything going, to get it all up. Not an easy job.
The relationship amongst the staff doesn't seem to be harmonious at Strokestown. There was widespread infighting amongst the staff, particularly amongst the kitchen maids and the laundry maids.
Will history repeat itself when the pressure is on?
The other maids may have resented me a little bit, because I wasn't really wetting my hands.
It's very frustrating that things are getting cold. It's a fine line between getting everything perfect and actually getting hot food up to the table.
Life has returned to Strokestown Park House.
I have such awe and admiration for all the servants that have worked in this house over the years.
And over the next few weeks, as we get to know something of the lives that were lived here, we hope to begin to understand what life was really like in the big house.
Yes, just the job. Thank you. We'll go.